Okay, I think this might be the point at which the story really gets going. Réjean was filed as a voluntary missing adult, and the police again promised to let Agathe know the moment they heard anything. Considering his size... I think a good story has to have a reason to happen. And you should be having a good time, I think, the whole time you're reading a good story, and you shouldn't want it to end.
And this story is a good one. It has all the necessary elements. Let me explain. Michelle Winters works 9 to 5 as a translator for a software company. And yet, she's on the shortlist to win one of the biggest writing awards in the country, the Giller Prize. Michelle tells me that in writing circles, that's the hook.
The hook is that there's a sort of like anybody could do it. You know, if it's me, it could be anyone. I guess it's an underdog story if you really want. Once it's hooked you, you need to keep wondering what's going to happen next.
Yeah, like will Michelle win? Will she lose? But if you're going to root for Michelle, you need to know more about her. And that's where a narrator can help, which is yours truly. So Michelle Winters isn't even a full-time writer. She's also a painter. Her novel, I Am a Truck, is her first, and she wrote it on weekends and at night. And every morning on her way to work, that's all she thought about.
Agathe awoke the day of their anniversary to the sound of gravel crunching out front and ran to the window to see a tow truck dragging the Silverado.
Of course, if a story is really going to grip you, it needs conflict. Things can't be easy. In Michelle's case, she has competition. 4 other writers are hoping to win the Giller too. And every hero has something at stake as well.
It would be the biggest deal to win that thing. You know, your book becomes a piece of Canadian history. I was dazzled by the fact that it even got published and that we sold 300 copies, but to have the thing immortalized in history is unthinkable.
Now, often a story gets moved along by a secondary character. No, not the cat. Let's say someone showing up in the protagonist's apartment to ask a few questions.
So, what I want to ask you is, are you Cinderella?
You can't help but feel that way sometimes. You feel the birds tugging at your dress. I come back from there. It's, I'm living in a reasonable place.
Where were you when you got the news?
I was at work, like I always am.
What'd you do?
I panicked. Like I wasn't checking that list. I wasn't looking. I didn't know the announcement was coming. And when it happened, I thought I was gonna, you know, cry and throw up spontaneously, and had to like really go and calm myself down, because I don't like to draw attention to myself at work. But, you know, it's the best thing in the world has just happened to you, and you have to keep it very quiet.
Now, if a story is going to be an award winner, it probably needs a few surprises.
What would people find surprising about you?
I think they'd be surprised at how angry I am. I write when I'm angry, and that's what this whole thing came out of. I paint when I'm happy. I write when I'm angry.
What are you angry about?
The world. The world is a perplexing place. There's so much out there to be, you know, frustrated and baffled by. Painting is, there's something in the visualness of being able to see a thing come together and stand back and assess it and you know what you've done, know what you've changed. It's deeply satisfying.
If I put the book in your hand, what does it mean to you?
It's heavy, you know. I think it's heavier than it was before, and it's not just mine anymore. It's so personal, but I still, when I look at it, I can't believe that other people's eyes have gotten on it. It's amazing. All the words, I know them all.
Of course, all stories end. And there are different kinds. The happy, the sad, the perfect, and the one I'm trying to do, the thoughtful ending. You know what? Let's just hear from the expert.
I think the best ending is one that you don't see coming. With what's happening to me right now, I mean, ideally it wouldn't end. It would be this continued place of anticipation. But no matter what, it will still be the the most fascinating, most exciting experience I've ever had, regardless of what the fantastic ending is.